Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we are your guide to everything. We cover everything. If it affects your life and it affects your dating and or your relationships, we're the people you want to listen to. Plain and simple. No patchwork, none of this metaphysical, sit there and get your chakras in order and your love life going to miraculously change and knock at your door. I'm here. I'm the love of your life. Yeah, we don't do that nonsense.
Not us. Nope. You either got to work for it, you got to listen to our advice. We're not going to guide you in the wrong direction. Welcome to our, Long Show Thursday? I think there's a better acronym, but I'll think of one soon.
Thorough Thursday.
Thorough Thursday, yes. Welcome to our Thorough Thursday. As you guys know, we're going to hop right into attachment theory. We got a lot to go over.
Yes, we do. We've got quite a bit to go over. Because if you are wondering, why does this keep happening to me? Well, we have some anecdotal evidence as to why it keeps happening. We've said it before. Show me how you're loved, and we will show you how you love. And this is where that comes from.
Now, if you listened Tuesday, we gave you the basic idea of what attachment theory was. And attachment theory is how you are attached to your parents, or as a child, how you formed attachments, is how you attach as an adult. It's weird. And as you know, the theory was developed by Bowlby and Ainsworth.
Yeah, we have the link to the original study. It's going to be on our website. So if you go to the show notes, you'll see the link to the website. It'll take to the article. Hopefully I have the transcript done by then. And you'll find where you can click on it and go read the study for yourself.
Yes, because while we are going to run down the cliff notes and trying to help you apply them to your lives, it is great if you take an interest in it. And if you really want to dive deep, take your time, read through the study, read through different interpretations of the study, and this way you'll understand what works for you. Because again, we don't know you, but we can give you the basic ideas so that you can have some sort of familiarity with it.
Right. And if you're wondering, why the hell are they covering this?
Pretty much because we haven't.
Pretty much. But there's a lot of different things that can affect your relationships and the outcome of your relationships. And if you're trying to figure out why something keeps happening or how come you're not getting the results you want, it's probably because you're not aware of different aspects that affect your relationships.
Absolutely.
If your life is messed up, then you really can't go into a relationship because you're constantly worried about your life.
Yep.
I'm trying to fix this over here. Hold on for a second. Next thing you know, you're ghosting your partner. They're like,
yeah, or vice versa. Like you're trying to ghost your friends for your partner. And I think attachment theory, as much as I laugh about it being common sense, it is important to address and break down for people because, like you said, if you're going through something, this probably, I would say, honestly, attachment theory is probably the root of all of your fucking issues when it comes to people.
Pretty close. I'm on board about 90-something%.
The more we talk about it, the more I read about it, I'm like, Jesus, okay, Ashley. Like, there you go. And now I blame my mom for all my problems because she didn't hug me enough.
I didn't get enough kisses. I got a boo-boo and you didn't give me a cookie.
Now I'm a serial killer, so it's your fault, Mom.
Okay, let's dive in. Let's take a look at the first type of attachment style. Now, there's only one positive. The rest of these are pretty well screwed up. So the first one, the one that is positive, that's your secure attachment. And that's it. You're secure. And when you look at when you were a child and your primary caregiver, whoever that was, whether it's your mom, your aunt, whoever raised you, and your adult relationship, there is a commonality between them. Both of you feel safe when the other is nearby, and they are responsive. Both engage in close and intimate body contact. They both feel insecure when the other person is inaccessible. They both share discoveries with one another. They both play with one another's facial features, meaning they make a goofy face, you make a goofy face back. They exhibit mutual fascination, preoccupation with each other. And guys, whether you want to admit it or not, both of you engage in baby talk.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so cute. Yeah. Tell me you haven't done that before.
I have not, by the way. Most of the time, no, I'm kidding. But most of the time when we get to like secure attachments, your parents were available, sensitive, responsive, and accepting. And so you were able to form this attachment, like John said, where you guys were comfortable being around each other. But also, if your parents left, they would come back. And these kids who have this beautiful gift of secure attachment, which if you have secure attachment, I need you to write in and be a guest on the show, because I don't know a damn person like this.
Me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You are one of these kids who is loved. I'm sorry. But usually, you grow up into, this sounds like John, like, as adults, you're pretty in touch with your feelings and are competent. Genuinely, you have successful relationships. And you really have this security about you that most people walk around in fear. You walk around knowing that, if somebody goes away and they go away for good, it was probably meant to be. And if they come back, it's probably meant to be also.
Yeah. If you love them, let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll come back. Not always. Sometimes they find somebody else.
Wine. Right. That's why God invented wine.
Wine and ice cream.
They make wine ice cream, by the way, at Dylan's Candy Bar. Does not get you as drunk as wine.
Well, you can also go over to Japan and get fish-flavored ice cream.
Yeah, that just turned my stomach, so that's fantastic.
Don't get the squid. That is nasty.
I won't think so.
But anyways, if one person shows empathy, the other person, they also try to comfort the other person and lessen the distress that the other person is under. That's what secure attachment is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. If you or a person is suffering from secure attachment, stay in their lives, because you deserve that. And I think that's one of the things we want to hit home is, as we go through the rest of these, they're all pretty screwed up, but it's not that you can't work towards feeling secure. Just because you walk around with a disorganized disorder or whatever doesn't mean that you can't work towards it, but it takes work. And I think as we go through the others, we're going to probably give you some pointers on how to kind of combat that, not get over it. We're not therapists, but we can help you as far as like relating to it and then saying, this is what works for me.
And just to kind of give you an idea, because you're probably sitting out there going, yeah, but everybody I know is screwed up. According to the research, depending on which research you read, about 50 to 60% of the world's population is secure attachment. The rest of these, it's about even. It's about 20 to 25% for the rest of these. When we talk about filtering, here you go. This is what you want to filter for.
Seriously.
Okay, so what's our next one?
Let's see. We've got anxious, insecure attachment. And I know somebody heard that and said, ding.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
So basically what happens is this is when your parents respond to your children's needs, kind of like, so they every so often go to your baseball game, or if you're a kid, they every so often sort of put you to sleep. And it really shows that you can't rely on your parent or anybody else for that.
Right. Yeah, they just kind of, okay, yeah, you're crying. Here's a cookie. Shut up.
Basically, I'm watching my stories.
Yeah. Or even worse, you're jumping up and down, throwing a temper tantrum. So like, here's the remote. Go watch TV. Not that.
Right. Like, yeah, it's very scary, I guess. I mean, I can't even imagine being a baby and thinking, like, is my mom going to give me a bottle? They always feel like they're, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, because they can't technically rely on their parents, they always feel like a pit of failure, or like not failure, but constantly being let down.
Yeah. And I think the majority of people that we work with have this anxiety. And so they don't let anybody get close because they're constantly pushing people away because they don't want to get hurt or they don't want to get rejected. So they're running stuff through their heads. They're running these scenarios through their heads. Okay, I want to go up, I want to talk to them. Then they're going to say this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And then I want to get rejected. So I'm just not going to do anything.
Yeah, sounds right.
So if you're that kind of person, stop it.
Basically, like, roll up some newspaper so I can boop you on the nose. No, but realistically, the best way I find to deal with anxiety, because again, just because me and John have been doing this forever doesn't mean we don't get a little nervous every so often.
No.
But what I find is just there's a little breath work you can do. I recommend Wim Hof. It's 11 minutes. It's fantastic. It helps me calm my nerves whenever I'm getting overwhelmed, which is often. But it also, aside from breath work, what I find helps is just releasing the concept of expectations. I understand that you can't necessarily count on people if you feel like this. If your parents sporadically threw you a cookie or kind of came to your baseball games or whatever, I understand that it's hard to do that because you want the certainty. But guess what? You're not going to get it. Whether you have secure attachment or insecure, you never have certainty.
No. Now, way back when I was a photographer and I'm working with these models, I was highly insecure. That's how I got into the whole pickup artist thing, because I wanted to talk to these girls. I mean, holy shit, this is my dream come true. I'm surrounded by beautiful women, and I'm too damn scared to talk to them. Before that, I used my camera as my excuse. I couldn't use it anymore. This is now my job. Now I have to be absolutely professional. There were a lot of awkward moments, because if they talked to me first, game on. I could talk about anything. But other than that, I would do something weird or stupid, and it just turned awkward because I'm trying to okay, I want to do this, and hopefully they recognize, and maybe they'll come over and talk to me. That's no.
Right.
So I've been there. I know what you're going through. But after I got rid of my expectations, all I want to do is start a conversation.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many conversations I've started with different women by just saying, how do you say your name? Because it's a weird spelling. I see their name tag and I'm like, no, seriously, how do you say your name?
You, that's funny. That's that kind of, anxious. I don't know the opposite of anxiety. That's the sort of stillness and peace people need, is the confidence.
Yeah, what are they going to do? They're like, what, you can't say my name? Is it said this way or this way? No, it's the first way. Cool.
Right. And then if you clearly have no longer to engage with me, that's okay. But if you're dealing with the anxiety part of it, you're like, what if she calls me stupid? What if she thinks I'm an idiot? What if the whole world laughs at me? It's not that serious. And that's one of the things you have to release into the atmosphere. And like I said, whether it's through breath work, yoga, meditation, hitting a ball, playing hoops, or whatever it is, but allow that activity be a way for you to exhale your nervousness and understand that you're okay.
This flows right into the next attachment style, which is avoidant and secure, which is you're going to minimize all of your feelings. You're going to reject the demands, and you don't help with difficult tasks. You're just like, I'm just going to get away from you before you can get away from me.
Yeah, which I think this one is the one that, of all of them, we're going to hear a really messed up one next. I think this is the one that is the most unhealthy. Because what happens is when you have this attachment, this is a generational attachment. So what's going to happen is, let's say you have a kid, you're going to treat your child that way. And as we've learned from the previous ones, this is how your child is going to start to love people and start to attach to people. And as you create these barriers, it just makes us as humanity farther and farther away. And these kids grow up and they're just people who don't commit. I can't stand people who don't commit, personally. So obviously, I think that's the worst. But as a parent, you don't want to do this. And I'm speaking strictly from the research itself. Knowing that there are kids who were tested and they probably grew up with this avoidant, insecure attachment freaks me out. And I'm sure one of them is my ex's, even though it was the 60s and 70s.
I recently ran into this girl at work, and she is this type of person. It doesn't take a genius to just listen to her go through her past relationships for a minute and a half and go, yep, this is her. But she's highly interested in me. You don't know a person for 5 minutes, and every time you see them from then on, you're walking up and just giving them a hug.
If you have secure attachments, you might.
No, this isn't like a little side friendly hug. No, this is like a full on, full frontal and pull you into them type hug. This is an embrace, but
be careful. She don't got no attachments.
Well, I'm already interested in somebody else. I'm not that interested in her.
But you still hug her. See, because you're a secure person.
Well, it's rude if they're hugging and you're like pushing them away.
Fuck off me, bitch.
But avoidant and secure attachments, these are people who are more than happy to run off, and they're not going to return simply because it's safe for them. They feel safe.
Right. For them, it's easy to like shut down. And like, I really fundamentally believe that if you have avoidant insecure attachments, you are not ready for a relationship. I really believe that. Like, if you're able to shut down and sort of just walk away with no problem, even if it's not that big of a deal, but just because it feels safe, you need to work on these kind of things, because as you grow in your relationship, attachments form. And if you're not able to do that, what the hell are you doing?
These are people who are extremely self-reliant, and they're not going to ask for help. They much rather prefer to figure things out for themselves than to have to ask for help to figure something out.
My literal kryptonite is somebody who just works as a team a lot. If you don't ask for help, and I understand this, I understand the concept and the psychology behind it, but these people are my pet peeve, man. I cannot express to you, because I'm so heart-based and so able to form attachments, that these people just boggle my mind in the way where it's like, you can get so much farther working with somebody.
When I first started coaching, these people really just aggravated me, because I can go, hey, go talk to that person over there. And they are perfectly happy to. They'll walk up and they will interact with a stranger, but they will not take the next step to form any kind of attachment. They come back and it's like, how'd it go? Oh, it went great. So did you ask them out? No, they just weren't that interesting.
Right.
Oh, okay, go talk that. Okay. And come back and it's the same thing.
So frustrating.
And this, when I was brand new to coaching, I was like, I don't get this person. What the hell is up with them? Wait a minute. I don't get it. Very frustrating to pin these type of people down in order to help them get to where they want to be.
Right, because in order to do that, you have to form a relationship with this person, but it's so easy for them simply because if they don't like what you say, they're gone. So It's very hard to like coach somebody who's so uncoachable. And if you honestly are listening to this and you know that you're uncoachable and it doesn't make you uncomfortable and you're like, that's who I am, fuck you, that's fine. But if you're hearing this and you're saying, I am uncoachable, I am ridiculous.
You need to open up.
Yeah, open up. Write to us. We won't read it on the air. We won't say anything. We will simply respond to you and let you know that you're heard. And that even if you say, hey, I hated the show, how dare you describe me as this and this, we're still going to let you know that you're heard, because I think that is the number one problem that avoidant insecure people have, is that they don't feel heard and they don't feel like anyone cares about them enough.
Yeah, but avoidant insecure people, you have to allow somebody in. You have to be able to become vulnerable. That's their main issue, is that they do not want to become vulnerable for somebody else. That's like them asking for help.
Right. Look, I'm a level with you. Being hurt sucks, but never feeling sucks much harder. I promise you that. Being hurt does suck, and nobody likes to get hurt, whether it's a relationship, a friendship. Hell, even if you get the wrong order at Taco Bell, nobody likes that. But you know what? I'll go back to Taco Bell and I'll get the perfect order, and I love it. And you're not going to get the perfect one every single time. Sometimes they forget the mild sauce. God, Taco Bell sounds good. And but you get what I'm saying? I feel like the metaphor makes sense.
Yeah. You go in the order Supreme and they forget to put the sour cream on it. That's not a Supreme, people.
You go get your 52 cents back.
Or all the sour cream is on one side of the burrito. That sucks. I fucking hate that.
Who teaches these people how to make burritos? You know what? Those people
They're supposed to have a college degree.
Right. These people have avoided insecure issues because if you go back, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
This is actually a really good metaphor. It's working out really well.
Yeah.
Extremely well. Yeah, no, they don't care. They say, whatever, we fixed it. But the bottom line is they don't empathize or sympathize with you enough to just say, I'm sorry. They just shut down as if it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah, the more you interact with people and you see that it's not a big deal, success breeds success. But you have to take the risk in order to get the success. It's that catch-22 right there.
It's like they're the bad sharers of the group. Somebody just won't share. That's them. These are assholes. but I love you, and write in and make sure you open up, because again, we won't reject you. We understand that you're going through something, and that it's not, I'm not going to say it's a psychological disorder, but it's
a
our
learned
fear to form
pattern.
attachments. Yeah, it's a learned pattern. All our parents screw us up. These are just 3 examples of how your parents screwed you up. We could probably go through 1,000.
Yeah. Let's see, we got one more, and
Yeah.
this one's a doozy.
That's a whole thing.
This is disorganized, insecure attachment. Like we said, only one of these is good. That's the secure. Then we have insecure, insecure, insecure.
Yeah.
And what does everybody say? Have confidence in yourself. But if you're insecure, you don't have confidence.
Very true.
Just be yourself.
It's very like, yeah, be yourself. And then basically what happens is these kids, like their parents your parents are bullies.
Yeah. These are the ones that as soon as they are hurt, either physically or emotionally, or somebody, I don't know, makes a scary face at them, the very first thing they do is go running for their parent.
Yeah.
That's the kid on the playground. Where's my mommy? But at the same time, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then their parent like turns them around and says, grow up.
This is the kid who's like about to get beat up after school, and their mom takes them to fight the kid.
As soon as the parent actually starts to hug them, the kid starts to kick and struggle because mommy and daddy are trying to comfort them. But you came to me for comfort, but now you don't want my comfort.
Well, they're scared of the comfort, I assume.
They're just like all over the place. They don't really know what the hell they want.
Emotional roller coasters.
Yeah, the kid totally ignores the parents even being in the room, but at the same time wants to know that the parent's in the room.
Basically.
It reminds me of a cat. Sits there and whines and whines and whines to be fed. Then you put the food down, they go over, sniff it, then they walk away. Okay, it's there. I know it's there. We're good.
Basically, yes, that's exactly it, dude. Like, they are, very finicky people. I mean, it's such a dichotomy between, like, mommy, I love you, and don't ever talk to me. Like, it's very teenagery, and it comes from just simple attachments. Like, and it's crazy to me how, you're a newborn for what, 7-9 months of your, when do you stop being new? 12 months a year?
I don't know. People say, oh, my kid's 18 months, so they're a year and a half.
My kid's 36 months. Your kid's 3 years fucking old, okay? Your kid is fully rotated around the sun. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's time to stop counting in months and weeks.
Right. So, like, let's say you're 2 years old. It's crazy to think that the first 2 years of your life will dictate emotionally how you deal with the rest of your life. Because it's like, there's so many things that happen in between 2 and whenever we consider kids adults. And so many things happen at that time. But if your parents don't love you just a little bit,
yeah. But as these kids, the way that they've grown up, they're either one or both of the parents. They reject the child. They ridicule the child. They frighten their child. The kid comes around the corner and the dad jumps out with the mask and the kid screams and the dad's sitting there laughing. And then, you got scared. There's no monsters, but the kid's scared because of a monster in the closet.
Right. Now you're the monster, Dad,
yeah.
By the way.
The kid starts whining about the monster and the kid totally gets rejected. But something physical happens to him. Then, they get all the hugs and kisses. And then the parents turn right back around and they do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So the kid is like all over the place with unresolved trauma from just being rejected and ridiculed. You didn't hit the ball hard enough. Hit the ball hard enough. You're no son of mine. And
all that crazy shit.
All that crazy stuff.
And I'm glad that as we get towards like the future, it may feel like we're evolving. You know what it is people are becoming more secure. People aren't avoiding or they aren't disorganized because back in the day, it was acceptable for you to kind of call your kid a pussy and like do all of that kind of stuff. Now, you will get fired from your job.
Put that on social media and you have child services coming after you.
Exactly. And so what everyone's trying to do is teach people to have security. And it feels like we're going backwards because there's so many things that were so unacceptable. Now we're like, let them do it.
But I think on the flip side of that, we've gone too far with that in some cases. Oh, we kind of need to rein it back in just a little bit.
Yeah, rules are okay, but not 1,000. Like, let's do 50 rules. I think 50 is good.
At work, we got a bunch of new hires, and I'm just like, no, that's not what you do. That's not how this job is done. We're in the customer service industry. It's called hospitality for a reason.
Right.
You don't tell somebody coming in to spend $700 on a room and spend $6,000 in the casino, just go down there and turn left.
Right, you take them. You fucking take them.
Yeah.
You hold their goddamn hand. You make sure they don't leave.
Especially when they're paying like $2 million a year to belong to a specific, that's your paycheck and then some for many years.
That's our paychecks, guys. So we're going to hustle.
Yeah. We're not going to take our sweet ass time because, I didn't sleep good last night. Well, whose fault's that?
Nobody told you to stay awake. Pop a Benadryl.
Go grab some No-Dose and coffee.
No-Dose? I don't think they make that anymore.
They got it.
No-Dose?
Yeah.
Really? I might order some just for the fuck of it.
Or if you can't find that, go down the frozen Nile and look for Stoke coffee. That's like 6 cups of coffee in a shot. Holy shit.
They really do. They really do sell No-Dose still. Like $10 for some No-Dose. Okay.
Okay. We're getting close to the end of our time.
Yeah.
Can you change or get help with your attachment style? If you don't like where you're at and you want to change, neuroscience has shown us that you can. Told you we study a lot of stuff.
It's true, though. It's with anything. This is like, this is a behavior. The way we attach ourselves to people is not some sort of psychological disorder. It's not anything more than a behavior. And behaviors are hard to change. It doesn't matter whether it's a good one or a bad one. Well, no, that's a lie. It's a lot easier to do bad stuff than good. But if you heard yourself in any of these today, if you felt like you have disorganized, insecure, avoidant, insecure, or anxious, insecure, if you feel like you're any of those, and go back and listen, because I know we got off topic a little bit, but if you feel like you're any of those, and you're not comfortable with it, it doesn't take you having to go through 40 years of therapy. Sometimes reading and getting a self-help book or working through it can help you even more.
Or just going down the journey, and when somebody asks you who you are, the better you know yourself, the more you're able to change things.
Yeah.
And the course that we released and the course that we're putting together, we do have a way of showing you how you can change things. And it's not that difficult. It takes time. You have to pay attention to yourself, but you can change things.
This isn't a week-long process. It's not a 40-year process. It's not a week.
No, this isn't like overnight. We're not going to tell you to start burning sage and dancing in your living room half naked.
First of all, I fully suggest that.
It is fun. So,
it's very fun.
But knowing yourself, and the better you know yourself, you're able to not only know what you are looking for, but you can also start going, okay, yeah, I don't want to do that. And you start changing things.
Exactly.
It's not that difficult.
It's not. It's scary.
Yes, it can be scary, especially if you're dealing with traumas. Now, I'm not talking like severe traumas where you do need to go get some professional help. I'm talking about, I was bullied in school by this one person. Those traumas, you can come to terms with them and let it go.
Exactly. You can come to terms, and it's going to be scary. It's sometimes terrifying. And we're talking even the bully thing where you have to relive some creepy kid calling you Four Eyes or something because you wore glasses. Sometimes it hurts, but addressing that hurt, moving on from that hurt, releasing that hurt will allow you to develop a more secure attachment because you'll know that shit had nothing to do with you. Your parents not hugging you had to do with them. You did nothing wrong. Feel secure in every part of your life. And if you don't, it's time to start addressing it.
Yeah. And when you start going through this and you start knowing yourself, you start letting go of stuff, and you start changing your attachment style, then when you find somebody else, if your attachment style and their attachment style lines up or are close enough to line up, then you start feeling safe, become comfortable with that, become a little bit more vulnerable. And next thing you know, you're building this intimacy and trust that you haven't been able to experience before, which can be scary. But at the same time, it's very exciting and you want more of it. You desire more of it.
Yep, I agree. But if you have any questions, again, like we said, first of all, if you have secure attachments and you're a perfectly healthy person, make sure you write in and tell us how you became that way if you didn't start out that way. If you are one of the other three and you feel like you're ready for a change and you feel like nobody listens to you, write us in. We're going to respond. Might take us a couple days, so don't get insecure. Sometimes we work and we have, longer hours. And if you get a really short paragraph, it's me. If you get a really long one, it's John. So just
if it's a mini novel, that's me.
Yeah. And if you get a sentence that's like, damn, sorry to hear that, which I thoroughly mean, believe it or not, I'm not a long typist. But if you're ready to start working on any of these things, make sure you contact us. We might be able to refer you to a therapist in your area, or we might just kind of be like, hey, we can work on this with you. It depends on the severity, obviously. And if you just want to talk to us, freaking talk to us, dude. Yeah. We love hearing from you guys.
We really do. And we love doing this podcast and covering these topics for people and really watching people's lives change. Literally change.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
No, it really isn't. And I think it is probably the most fulfilling thing I do throughout my week.
I think we've pretty much exhausted this without going too far in depth and like way over people's heads. This topic, there's lots of stuff in different directions that we can go in. We were purposefully holding ourselves narrow with the exception of maybe that 2-3 minutes where we went way off topic.
Happens. But always, guys, like I said, write in, make sure you like, make sure you rate, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Tell everyone you know about the show. And I guess that's it for me.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So, love everybody. Thank you for listening. We have some pretty big news we're hoping to share with you here in the very, very, very near future. And with that, yes, thank you. And we will talk to you on the next one.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.